Hi, I'm Vic.
And I'm DJ.
And
this is Adventures with Vic and DJ. We recently took a trip to Florida and stayed in Florida City.
One of the main attractions that we found locally is called Robert is Here.
If you've never heard of it, it's basically a legendary fruit stand known for exotic produce, fruits, smoothies, and milkshakes.
This isn't just a fruit stand. It's more like a full-on experience.
Look at all these fruits. I don't even recognize half of these.
All right, we are trying something new today. This is a pomelo. Fun fact, pomelos are actually the original citrus fruit. A grapefruit is the cross between a pomelo and an orange. And pomelos can grow to the size of a basketball.
That's a crazy fact. And if you just saw Vic jump a little, it was just a motorcycle outside backfiring.
Okay, so it tastes like a grapefruit, but it was a little bit sweeter and not as bitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a no for me.
More for me. Just kidding, I really wasn't a fan either.
I'll stick to things I recognize.
Look at all of this fresh produce. This is the kind of place where you could just walk around forever and keep finding something new. They've got everything from your everyday veggies and fruits to stuff you probably wouldn't find in a regular grocery store. And I love that everything feels super fresh and local. They even had these Key West sea sponges. Not quite sure that I would eat one, but you never know.
Okay, we just stepped outside and I was not expecting this. You've got all these colorful tropical birds just hanging out. It's a super nice surprise after walking through all the fruits and veggies, and it makes the whole place feel even more unique. Fun fact, according to the band, the Trash Men, the bird is the word.
And now, more animals. This place just keeps going and going. You come for fruit and end up at a mini farm. Everywhere you look, you see a different animals. Roosters, geese, mini cows, emus, goats, tortoises, iguanas, and more I'm probably forgetting.
All right, Robert is Here definitely lived up to the hype. If you're anywhere near Florida City, we think it's a must-see.
Try something new, you might find your new favorite fruit. Speaking of trying something new,
when Victoria said, "We're in Florida, we have to check out the Everglades," I thought it wouldn't be anything I would like.
Right, because who wouldn't want to go walking through the slowest river in the world and see some exotic animals?
I didn't know how far we were going to have to walk to see an alligator, but it turns out it was about 100 yards into our walk.
According to the locals that were standing there, that's a pretty big one.
That's what she said. I was pleasantly surprised by how nice the walkways were. It was easy to walk through this part of the trail for sure.
After seeing that alligator, we did walk a little further and spotted another smaller alligator.
That was when we started seeing birds, and it was amazing at how big they are and how little they were fazed by humans being around.
The Everglades National Park is a large park where you drive forever without really seeing much of anything. We came across a strange sign in the road that was a restricted U.S. Army area. It did say that it was open for the public, so we kept driving past nothing but these strange buildings. And as we approached one of them, it was open, and inside was a spectacular sight.
When entering the park, I expected to see animals, but I did not have missiles on my list.
This was the Nike missile site, which is hidden deep inside the Everglades National Park. Its job was to defend South Florida from potential air attacks during the Cold War, right after the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Nike Hercules missiles are capable of carrying nuclear warheads. They have a radar and a control system to track incoming threats.
It's one of the strangest contrasts in any national park. Seemingly a nuclear-era military installation sitting in the middle of a tropical wilderness full of alligators and birds.
Next up was more driving as we headed down to the southern part of the park called Florida Bay.
We grabbed lunch and headed over to where they say if you're lucky, you'll get to see manatees. Must have been our lucky day because we got to see them. But I will say, catching them on video was not easy.
I do want to point out the park does cost money to get into, but while we were pulling in, I was informed because I'm a veteran, I qualify for a free America the Beautiful pass.
Which is pretty cool because it gets you free entry into National Park Service sites, any of the National Forest wildlife refuges, and other federal regulation areas. And it allows you to have access for the pass holder and passengers in the vehicle, or for up to 4 adults at the walk-in sites.
This trip really was 20 years in the making. I joined the Navy in the spring of 2003, and I was stationed on the submarine USS Key West in Hawaii. While on the USS Key West Facebook group, everyone kept talking about Rick's Bar on Duval Street, and that they had an actual brow banner and other boat memorabilia.
Right, because everyone goes on a trip because of a bar. Well, we certainly did, and it was worth seeing that smile and learning all about DJ's time in the Navy and him sharing his love that he had for it.
Alright, enough of this sappy stuff. The Bloody Mary was really good though. Duval Street during the day was kind of boring, but getting to the southernmost tip early allowed us to avoid the super long lines that came later in the day.
Since we got to Key West early, we needed breakfast. We chose a place called Blue Heaven.
I saw there was a lobster omelet on the menu, and then I saw the price. It was the most expensive omelet I've ever eaten in my life, but it was worth every penny.
I had the Eggs Benedict, and while they were good, I was really just here for the Mile High Key Lime Pie. And not only was it Instagram worthy, but it tasted amazing.
Then it was time to get high. Every trip we try and find the highest observation point, and in Key West, that's the iconic Key West Lighthouse.
The lighthouse was completed in 1825 to guide ships safely through the dangerous coral reefs that surround Key West. And back then, it was a busy harbor, and shipwrecks were common. The original lighthouse was destroyed in a hurricane and later rebuilt further inland.
It's 88 steps to the top where the light sits about 100 feet above sea level. It offers 360-degree views of Key West.
In 1894, the lighthouse was raised an additional 20 feet to make it taller because the trees and buildings that were surrounding it started to get taller.
I was kind of hoping to see Cuba from up there, but it's 90 miles away.
After a fun-filled day in Key West, we made the drive back north towards Miami.
We made a stop just outside of Key West, Bahine Honda State Park. And of course, I had to get my picture with the Gulf of America sign.
During our long drive on the Overseas Highway US 1, we stopped at some roadside attractions and even got eaten by sharks. And of course, we had to stop and see Betsy the lobster, because who doesn't want a picture of a 30-foot lobster?
When spending time in South Florida, it seems like it would be a huge shame not to check out Miami Beach.
Did you know that the sand at Miami Beach isn't all original? Much of it has actually been imported over the years to keep the beaches wide and beautiful after all of the erosion.
Our last stop in Florida was close to the Fort Lauderdale airport where we were flying out of.
Westlake Park and Kolb Nature Center is over 1,500 acres of coastal mangroves and wetlands. It's a nice break from the crowds of the nearby cities and beaches, and a perfect place to visit to get some extra steps in right before boarding a plane and flying home.
Thanks for coming along on this adventure with us.
And we'll see you on the next one.